It's time to BS.
Oh, God, Kevin's here, too. What's up, Kevin?
Dan, I'm doing great. How could you not be doing great? This is Super Bowl week.
Oh,
You got the Seahawks are playing in it, and so we're, of course, jacked up about that. And baseball's opening in a couple of weeks. Camps will be open, and we got the Winter Olympics coming. You got basketball trade deadlines a couple of days from now. So it's good to be alive.
Yeah, it is good to be alive. Kevin here is that direction. For those joining in the YouTube stream, from the great state of Texas and Belly Up Fantasy and wherever you get your articles on Belly Up Sports Media, Kevin Wilson is here with me here today. And my name is Dan Cruz. Welcome from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. My name is Dan Cruz, and this is Time to BS. Follow the show wherever you get your podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, the whole 9 yards. Follow our socials. We're around. We're doing stuff, and
Absolutely.
we're all doing stuff. And
right.
follow, share, subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. However you be watching, however you be listening. Like, rate, and review, and follow the show on Apple, Spotify, Good Pods, and on Belly Up and Friends. Follow the official Time to BS Podcast Facebook page. Just search Time to BS Podcast. And also, gaming content is here on the channel as well, because yours truly decided to be a good idea to get a capture card and record all of his crap on on YouTube and go live and do stuff. It's been going well, honestly. I mean, truthfully, it's just playing a PlayStation. Why not have a few people join the party here and there? Because why not? And
Why not?
Talk some stuff. Why not? No.
Yeah.
Engage in those comments, ladies and gentlemen. You know the drill. Just be nice, for God's sakes. This isn't hard.
No, it isn't.
You know what I mean?
Right. And we have complete confidence in those that are participating with us.
Right. And we'll be taking your comments and questions throughout the show.
That's right. Bring them.
Hey, no kidding, right? We already got a couple people joining in. Hey, John, what's up? What's up, John? John's here. Yeah, life is good. The good guys in the Super Bowl playing in Santa Clara in front of the so-called faithful. Okay, so wow.
Yes,
off to a
we've made that
start.
quite clear.
Yeah, John is very anti-49er here. And I don't blame him, to be honest here.
And so you're more than welcome.
Yes, the Department of BS is welcome to all. Just be kind. You know what I mean? Just be welcome. We're welcome as long as you're welcome back. This isn't a hard concept to figure out. Right, Kevin?
Absolutely. Especially if you're going to be anti-49ers, anything.
Yeah. I mean, all we're going to do is just play some Led Zeppelin.
There we go.
Like that. Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah, we like that.
That's right.
I dug down a Led Zeppelin rabbit hole recently, Kevin.
Okay.
I feel like you'd appreciate what I'm about to talk about next.
Okay.
So you've heard of the band Heart, right?
I've seen them live.
Oh, they're good, right?
Absolutely. And they had this, and I didn't know till I saw them live that they had a relationship of some sort with Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And they perform, they go out and do their songs, and they take a break, and they come back, and then they play Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. Do you want to know why? Because Led Zeppelin was their inspiration back in the 70s.
Okay.
So, and where I'm leading off to this, are you familiar with the Kennedy Center Honors, right? Of
course.
Okay, so for those who do not know, the Kennedy Center Honors is something that happens around this time of year every year over in DC. Some legends of the music industry, legends of acting or whatever, and they're honored. some time ago, Billy Joel was honored, Long Island's own Billy Joel. And in 2013, Led Zeppelin was honored.
A little
And
bit late in the game, but yeah.
yeah. Well, they were significantly older.
Of course.
John Bonham passed away back in the 80s, which caused the initial split of Led Zeppelin back in 82, I want to say. Right?
Well, I don't know if it was a split so much, but Robert Plant just said we can't play without John Bonham.
And respect that.
Right.
It wasn't until back in 2007 where Jason Bonham, John's son.
That's right. That's right.
You talk about splitting image of talent between father and son, right there. Fantastic.
Right.
But
it's kind of like Phil Collins and his son.
Yeah, but Hart was on the Kennedy Center Honors, and they covered "Stairway to Heaven."
Okay.
If you haven't had a chance to watch that performance of Hart covering "Stairway to Heaven," it is single-handedly the greatest cover I've ever seen. And I swear by these things.
Right.
Here and there, Kevin.
Anything Ann Wilson belts out, you know.
Oh, Nancy Wilson and her glorious guitar fingers.
True. Absolutely. And so anything they belt out is going to be a classic. So I would definitely check out anything you can come across, YouTube or wherever.
Yeah.
It would be worth it because, like I seen him live doing it.
They made Robert Plant cry. Do you know how hard that is to do? Like, Robert Plant has been on record of saying, like, yeah, I don't like anyone covering Stairway to Heaven. There's only one band that can do it, and that was us. And respectfully, I couldn't agree with him more.
Right.
He teared up watching Ann and Nancy Wilson shred. We're talking destroy Stairway to Heaven. It was amazing. And if you haven't get a chance to watch it, it's available on Apple Music and Spotify, and it's on YouTube. Of course, it's on YouTube.
Of course.
Just look up Heart Stairway to Heaven. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, go down the rabbit hole. You'll be down there for a while.
Oh, you'll be down there. Oh, my God. Of course. the 70s and the early 80s of music. Oh, my God.
And then they exploded again in the mid 80s. And
yeah. Barracuda.
Well, Barracuda was in the 70s.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And then they came back and made the album that had Never on it. And they were back.
Yeah. Seattle's own Heart, by the way.
That's right.
They are from Seattle, Washington. Good on them. Good on them,
Absolutely.
Indeed.
So.
Oh, John also mentioned here, they do some Zeppelin covers. The Heart version of Black Dog is awesome.
I've seen that as well. Absolutely.
Heart is from Seattle. Yeah, Heart is from Seattle. Thank you, John. I've never Heart's such an underrated band.
They are.
They really are. It's like wow. You have the ultimate, like I said, Ann Wilson belts out. And then you've got the guitar going on over there with Nancy Wilson. Nancy.
So they're definitely worth. I'm sure that Dustin's jukebox would be.
I'm sure he's got Heart in that jukebox of his
It's
brain.
got to be in
somewhere.
there. We're gonna have to have a talk with him Friday night to confirm that information.
We'll bother him about that. We'll ask him about that performance of Stairway to Heaven by Heart. But we got some stuff to talk about, Kevin. We do.
We absolutely do.
So we got to cue that music, my friend.
Okay.
You know what that means?
Play it.
The Smooth Report enters the room.
Woo-hoo.
All right. This is the Smooth Report. Segment here on the Time to BS family of shows. We start off in Vegas, where the Las Vegas Raiders are expected to ink a deal with Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. When I saw this, I was like, okay. We knew it was incoming because he's been on the topic of head coaching, on the head coaching carousel has Kubiak for months now. He's Gary Kubiak's son, obviously. And that tree, that Shanahan tree goes way back.
Way back.
And it's going to keep going because, the NFC West got another offensive genius or whatever the heck you want to call it. But what I liked about this is Clint even said, yeah, my focus is on the Super Bowl right now.
Of course.
Love that.
Right.
Love to see that. Oh, Desi's here. Hey, Des. What's up? Speaking of the NFC West, the Arizona Cardinals have hired Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur as their next head coach. Yeah, my thoughts exactly, Kevin.
Yeah. Nothing against him whatsoever. But
no.
It's like the Cleveland Browns. Who wants that job?
Who wants the Cardinals job?
That's what I'm saying. Who wants that job?
Ugh. It's so stupid.
They don't have a quarterback. They've got problems down there, especially. And good luck to him. And maybe him leaving the Rams will be a good thing for the Seahawks.
Probably.
We'll have to see on that. But you talk about a rough gig.
Yeah, right. The Seattle Mariners are in the news.
I heard that.
In a three-team trade with the St. Louis Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Rays. Seattle sends Ben Williamson over to the Rays. The Cardinals send utility second baseman and third baseman Brandon Donovan over to the Mariners. I love this move.
He could do a lot of things, and that fills up the Polanco loss.
Not even that, Suarez too.
Suarez, well, he can only fill up one of those holes. So, but
Suarez,
I like it so far.
Suarez goes back to Cincinnati. You're not replacing his home run production,
right?
What you will replace is his batting average,
right? Which that's been going on for years. I love.
Yeah.
From a fantasy perspective, I'll have him on my team.
Of course.
But you have to realize the dude's hitting 225.
Oh, it was worse. I think it was like 205.
Okay. And so, especially if you're in a points league, you have to know going in. That's going to be, you're going to have to, make sure that your raft has got no holes in it because there's all those negative points pile up.
Also, and finally, a fun fact: a group of flamingos is actually called a flamboyance.
See, now, if you hadn't joined the show, you would never, ever, ever hear that information.
That's. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it, because they're flamingos and they're just flamboyant. That was a bad joke. Okay.
You have to wonder who is it that stays up and burns, the midnight oil and comes up with some of these.
The midnight oil.
I'm serious.
No, I know. I know
different animals, runs in packs or, whatever. Flamboyance
is a group of flamingos. Who would have thought?
That had to have been at midnight coming up with that one.
Yeah, they might have had some help too.
Probably.
You know why, Kevin? The BS Express is in full force. All right, punch your tickets. Here we go. Punch your tickets. Get your rear ends down and enjoy some tequila. Or, I don't know, some wine or whatever.
Whatever your thirst is requesting. How about that?
Yeah, good point. Pinot Grigio, probably.
I could do that.
A wine of choice would be a good wine of choice.
Okay, it would be.
Kevin's a wine drinker?
I'll do that. It's not at the top of my list. But it's a wine I can drink.
I'm not a wine drink. I'm not that big of a wine drinker.
Yeah. I have to move over to the center a little bit because that's where my wife is.
Yeah, there you go.
So
there you go. We got a fun fact from John actually. Fun fact: the midnight oil was actually hash oil. Okay, I did not know that actually.
I did
I mean,
not
that
know
makes
that either.
sense. That makes sense when you think about it.
I wonder
We know
if the band of Midnight Oil was
Yeah.
aware of that when they came up with their name.
Midnight Rider. Shout out Greg Allman.
That's right, because there is a band, Midnight Oil from Australia. And,
really? I don't know a lot of Australian content.
Oh, yeah. Australia has all kinds of good musicians going on down there. So
Also, great wrestling content out if you're interested.
Okay.
The wrestling business is Australia and to a degree Europe over the last 15, 20 years has been producing a ton of talent in the wrestling business. Most notably, if you are wrestling fans out there, Rhea Ripley is from NLA, South Australia, who's if you are familiar with the wrestling business at all, she is the closest you're going to get to China, the wrestler. If you know who that is.
Yes.
For the good reason, not the bad one.
Right.
Which we don't talk about that.
That's right. We're not.
That's a room. That's a room we don't enter. That's a room we don't enter, Kevin.
Yeah, that's gonna stay shut. So.
Yeah, that door is being locked tight.
That's right. Riveted.
Oh, John was joking. Dang it, John. Come on. It was not hash oil.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, it would be a way to justify some of the stuff that people came up with.
That's
true. Real here.
That's right.
Let's be 100% real here. I mean, geez. Kevin, I have a question for you because there's a lot of talk here in New York about what the Jets could do. Bart Scott and Chris Carlin, who run a radio show here in New York, they threw out the possibility that Chris Carlin and Bart Scott, former Jets great Bart Scott, can't wait if you know who I'm talking about, threw out the possibility of the Jets trading for Kyler Murray, and I almost face planted on the floor because we may be Seahawks fans here in this department, but we are football fans first. Right? Would that be a fair assessment, Kevin?
That would be a fair assessment. And isn't he just Justin Fields?
He's a shorter Justin Fields.
Okay.
By like a foot.
Okay. Which, that's you can make that work. But it hasn't worked of late. And it's gonna be interesting to see, the new coach down there. But I cannot see him being remaining in Arizona.
No,
So some team's going to take a shot at him, and I that wouldn't give me warm and fuzzy if I was a fan of that team. I'm just saying.
Where's Ryan when you need him the most? Because I feel like he would have a field day with this discussion.
I'm sure he would. As I saw him, he was talking the other day about him being a Jets fan and why he is one, and it just is. I get that.
I get it too.
Because you're a fan of a team that you're a fan of. Come high water or low water or no water, and
yeah.
And I would not be singing the praises if they made this move. That's just me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, whatever team, because he's going to go somewhere. And the first team I heard of was the Steelers. And maybe that could make some sense if Mike McCarthy can do something with them. But I don't know. We've talked about this where he can't throw it he can't throw it to his he could be an all-pro wide receiver.
Here's the thing.
But he just couldn't get him the football.
No, he couldn't. But here's Here's what I think the Jets could do, and tell me if what I'm saying makes a lot of sense in your book, because you're the old school football fan of this room. I would target Mac Jones.
I would as well. I would
target Mac Jones.
Yeah, I would as well, because he, first of all, he was productive.
He was. He's had a productive career.
Yes, and he has a confirmed, QB coach that was coaching him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got
Shanahan.
Yes, absolutely. So he, just like the guy we've been praising all year, right?
Sam, yeah.
Sam, right? Was in San Francisco for 1 year as the backup. And all of a sudden now he wins 14 games every year.
Weird.
No.
Weird, right?
Well, that just goes, you get the right coaching and it brings out the talent. And so, I would definitely be in line to see what San Francisco wants for him.
I think it's going to be, I don't think the second pick is up for grabs. Obviously, because if you're the Jets, let's be honest here. The only way you trade the second pick is if someone blows you away and says, here, we'll give you these players for the second overall pick. Like, say, I don't know, Jacksonville calls you. Like, I'm not saying the Jaguars would do this, but like, let's say the Jaguars offered you Trevor Lawrence and like Trevon Walker for the second pick.
The Jaguars
obviously a stupid deal.
Then all of my Jaguar shirts are going in the garbage.
Obviously a stupid idea because the Jaguars because the Jaguars won the AFC South last year had a bounce back year with Trevor Lawrence, who was, by the way, third in line for the MVP.
That's right.
So
yeah,
toss that in the corner.
Cancel that.
Yeah, throw that in the corner somewhere where it needs to go rot.
Right.
But if you look at the roster,
if you're the Jets, because now that a certain Oregon quarterback is not in this draft,
Dante Moore.
That's right. And I would be a little more open now if someone wanted to, talk about trading this selection, because Moore is not there now.
If you look at the Jets roster from top to bottom, it's not terrible. It's not great.
It's not great. And, the defense got scaled back a little bit with the trades that they made. Well, but they can still recover that.
I will defend the Sauce Gardner trade.
Right. I get that. I do.
I will say this, though. The Colts gave up too much for him.
They did. And I would have personally gave him, taxi cab money out of town because of that, what the Colts offered.
2 first-round picks and then some for Sauce Gardner.
Exactly. And it's unfortunate because he wound up getting hurt.
Yeah.
But he's a quality football player. But
he is.
But like this is the kind of thing that the Steelers aren't making, which I don't get, but it's a different discussion. But they decide, hey, we're gonna take some of our, top quality stuff, and we're going to move it while it's movable.
Yes.
And then so we can start building up some things. And so now we just have to see if the Jets, for the first time, ever? I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, since, Noah's Ark came to rest, right? See if they can make some moves here that will help the team, because they've got some ammunition now.
So their defensive front seven alone is not bad.
No.
Will McDonald went off last year. Jermaine Johnson had a really good year this season for the Jets. Quincy Williams, not bad player. Javen Sherwood, not a bad linebacker. Harrison Phillips, who they got from the Vikings, is a half-decent defensive tackle. Their offensive line is really good, though. They got 2 young tackles there. They're animals.
That's right. And so Breece Hall should be doing more than he is.
Correct. But I don't know, like, because the quarterback class is not great.
It is not.
It's Mendoza, and that's it.
That's it. But the draft the year after this, there's some stuff bubbling up that we could
because
discuss.
you got the Arch Manning, pick. Dante Moore's in
Right.
there.
Dante Moore, and I thought that was the right move for him.
Yes, correct.
Not-
it is the right move.
Not to avoid the Jets, because that would be silly. But he did not have a great, postseason,
He didn't have a great last few games. You're right. He didn't.
right? And so
He didn't.
he needed to, luster himself up a little. And
But
he can do
Oregon's-
that
yeah.
in Oregon and come back and be a better player. So if that was his motivation, fine. If it was just to avoid the Jets, then I'm not too fine with that, because, get the money while you can.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
him being a better player, I think, was the motivation, and I'm totally down with that. So he can come out and he'll battle, possibly be the number 1 overall pick, and maybe it'll be a better team. But the first overall pick is going to be to a bad team. Doesn't matter what year it is.
Well, John also brought up a good point here. He's a little worried about the Raiders organization and to hope
Well,
eventually. Well, I know you have your distaste for the Raiders. I understand that.
no.
Like,
But he's got a point here about the Raiders organization. It's dysfunctional.
I clipped something about the Raiders a couple days ago, and I said their biggest issue was the last 15 years of the life of Al Davis. Al Davis destroyed whatever credibility the Raiders had. I think the talk rule game cursed them for 20-something years. Had to have been, because I mean we respect the Raiders, well, maybe more me than you, but like, it's when you think of Al Davis, you think of the first owner in NFL history to go give the middle finger to Big Brother, which was the NFL. He did. Al Davis was the man for that.
Right. That's why we have an AFC and an NFC and all that maneuvering that was going on back in the day.
Yeah.
He was a part of that.
You think of the Raiders, 9 times out of 10, you think of Al Davis. He
Yeah,
was the Oakland Raiders.
he was.
There's no disputing that.
No,
but it
there
seemed
isn't.
like when from 2002 to the day he died in 2011, they've been just, it's been so bad. Yeah, they made the playoffs one year in 2016 with a shell of whatever the hell Derek Carr left behind after he snapped his leg. But it's this, the Raiders, to me, like, I don't understand how Mark Davis doesn't look at this and go, yeah, I got to sell this team, because one thing's for sure, you got a beautiful stadium in Vegas.
You do. And
The Legion Stadium is gorgeous.
Might be part of the issue to me. They were so focused on the end results of that stadium that they lost sight of what they're putting in there. And so I don't know if it's like Jerry Jones. It's never going to happen. But own the team, fine. Let somebody else run it.
Run it better. Yeah, run it better.
Let somebody else run it.
Yeah. And I hope what Tom's doing, I hope what Tom Brady's doing, I think we could all collectively agree here that the Pete Carroll hire was a disaster.
It was a disaster and unfortunate on many levels. And I wish he had just stayed retired, because, we've talked about him ad nauseum, but
yeah,
if he had stayed retired,
yeah,
then we could be talking about his Hall of Fame, induction one day.
Correct. Ryan makes a
Probably
good
still
point.
going to
Previous.
talk about it, but still.
We are, but we gotta pivot back to the Jets real quick because Ryan over here makes a good point. Seriously about the Jets. With all the coaches Aaron Glenn fired this offseason, maybe Woody Johnson should have fired Aaron Glenn instead and overpaid for John Harbaugh.
Yeah,
I told you.
yeah.
I hate to say I told you so, Ryan, but I told you so. They should have fired Aaron Glenn the minute the John Harbaugh news was announced. The minute John Harbaugh was fired from Baltimore, Aaron Glenn should have been out the door and on the street. And I mean that I'm a New Yorker. I have a soft side for the Jets because I'm a New Yorker. The fact that they didn't even... It's so stupid what's going on in East Rutherford in the Meadowlands. Because you look at the Jets from roster construction forward, it's not a bad roster. Like, their offensive line is pretty good. Say what you want. Breece Hall, depending on what they do with Breece Hall.
Right. And they need to do right by him, and then Mr. Wilson out there.
Yeah.
You've got a running back. You've got a wide receiver that's good. Not just because
Garrett Wilson's one of the 10 best receivers in football.
Right. And
that's no debate there.
No, it's not. And so build.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like go out there and solidify. Maybe just take the whole building and just destruct it. Check your foundation and go from there.
Jesus. I'm not reading that comment, Ryan. I'm not reading that comment. I appreciate you for joining in the stream, my man. I'm not reading that comment you just posted. I'll throw it this way. It's darts featuring Amber Heard.
Oh, geez.
If you get that joke, I'm proud of you. If you get that joke, I'm proud of you. Oh, man. What else we got going on in the Department of Nonsense, Kevin? We actually have a segment for you because, knowing your fantasy knowledge, and a lot of people come to you for fantasy knowledge because you are Mr. Fantasy. You are Mr. Fantasy Sports here on Belly Up.
Right.
I think it's a very fair assessment to make.
I let others make that assessment, but, I make myself available.
That you do. So we're going to debut a segment here on Time to BS called Kevin's Fantasyland. I don't know how else to word it other than that.
Okay.
Because Kevin's Fantasyland sounds like, Neverland.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it sounds like a Disney Wild Ride, but that's not it. So.
Universal theme park.
Which I've been to Universal. Highly recommended, by the way.
Oh, God, I have a story for you. This is going to be great. Okay, so Ryan, I'm so annoyed with you. He said, do the Old Spice whistle. So for what context, Ryan, please? Not for Amber Heard, I hope, because she is crazy.
No.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, John, okay. So before we continue, John, I don't know that much about the Jets, but but you think they should be able to prosper if they have a good team. They should be plenty of money to go around. That's a big city. Oh, boy. Jesus. It's for the name Kevin's Fantasyland. Wow, Ryan. Where's your Bible, good sir?
That's right.
We are 2 days past Holy Day. Anyway. Before we so Kevin's Fantasyland. I don't know how else to word it. So Kevin's gonna give us fantasy advice throughout this segment. He's gonna take a few minutes to share some fantasy advice throughout basketball, hockey. Baseball's coming up, ladies and gentlemen.
I've got some for all comers here. So
what do you got, Kevin?
Okay, so first of all, fortunately, if you're into baseball and you're into fantasy baseball, all that I'm aware of, all platforms are now available for fantasy baseball, which means mock draft until your eyes bleed. Okay? Get out there, do your mock drafts, and just get yourself, because they're fun to me in the first place. But this kind of gives you a way of seeing how who's out there, who maybe is hanging around in the back alley somewhere. And so the only way that you can really do, because you can look at ADPs all day long, but get involved with drafts, because then you kind of see how things might be flowing a little bit. And just to put this out there, because I'm writing an article right now about who I think should be the third overall selection in fantasy baseball. Because I'm not going to reveal that, because then you won't read the article. But the first, because I think that if you're in a baseball fantasy, platform that has Shohei Ohtani as one player, pitcher and hitter, he's the overall number one pick, hands down.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down, especially now that he's pitching. And if he pitches well, he'll be 300 points clear of anyone else. That's bared out. You can go back a couple years ago when he was pitching and see just how dominant he has been as a pitcher and a hitter. So he's number one. Number two is Aaron Judge. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's, to me, is not debatable. He's a 300 hitter. He can get you 50 or more home runs. He'll get you RBIs, and his health concerns are way in the past now.
Yeah, thankfully.
And, right. And the problems he's had in the postseason have nothing to do with fantasy. So you don't need to worry about that. So those are my first two selections. And so if you're out there and you want to make a recommendation of who you think should be the third overall pick, I'm open. My ears are open for that.
Amen to that.
So there's that. And then I wanted to bring up, because in fantasy basketball, okay, just last week in my fantasy league, Paul George was available.
Ooh.
You already know where I'm headed with this. Okay.
Hold on. We have breaking news, by the way.
Oh.
In the Department of Nonsense. Hold on. We have music. There we go. James Harden has been traded from the Los Angeles Clippers to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
That's exactly the kind of scenario I heard of earlier.
Huh? Okay, so Cleveland? Really? Keep going.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm lost for words.
So, James Harden. Yay for you, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. If I'm another team, I'm not making a trade, because this guy, he'll be there for a month or two and then one out. So anyway, so Paul George, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I add him to my team. He's been playing pretty well. He puts up maybe 20 every once in a while. So then on Saturday, my wife and I go to Jason's Deli.
Okay.
And we're sitting underneath this TV. It's got the news going along the bottom. And here comes the news saying Paul George, 25-game suspension due to, whatever drug he did.
Right.
So I'm like, well, crap.
Yeah.
I just added him to my team like 2 days ago.
Right.
So if you happen to, fall into that same hole, on that same team, Dominic Barlow, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay? He's a power forward. He's a center, so that takes over the power forward part of Paul George.
Correct.
And in the last two games, let's see, he's got 8.3 points, 5.1 rebounds. Okay, that's not a lot. But he had 26 points the other night against the Clippers, speaking of which.
Okay.
Okay. And he's at 5.3% rostered. So if you're in a fantasy basketball league and you're looking for someone that could make a huge step forward, look at him.
All right.
Okay. Because then I could talk about all these guys. If they're not available, what sense is that? None. But he's at 5% rostered. So go after him.
There you go.
Right. So in the hockey realm.
Okay.
Okay. And the hockey is going to come down to, it's going to get shut down in like 3 days.
Unfortunately for the Olympic break, but hey, what are you
For
going
the
to do?
Olympic breaks. But if you happen to be into a fantasy hockey league, I've got a pickup for you, and that's Jack Quinn out of the Buffalo Sabres.
Buffalo's been doing a lot better.
They have been doing much better of late. He's
Thank
at 4.8% rostered. He had 3 assists against LA the other night. He has 2+ points in 3 of his last 4 games.
How awesome maybe the Sabres made the playoffs. How cool would it be?
That, goes back to really my introduction to hockey. Okay?
The 99 Sabres team?
99. Okay? Let me tell you this because I was on, a ship, aircraft carrier out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I go down into where a berthing is. I sit down, and it's the 6th game of the 1999 Stanley Cup final.
His foot was in the crease.
I still don't know how they didn't. I guess they all wanted to go home. Okay, but I sat there, and I was not a hockey guy. Couldn't care less about hockey, but I sat there because it was so interesting how they kept overtime and overtime and overtime and all this stuff, and I was rooted in my chair watching that game.
Oh, such a good series too.
It was a great series, and the Stars made it to the Stanley Cup playoffs the next year and didn't win that one.
Yeah.
And so now I'm in Dallas, and I've been to the Stanley Cup, playoffs, seen them play myself, and so, and we were talking about this the other day where we were watching the Pittsburgh and New York Ranger game the other night.
Okay.
And the Pittsburgh scored a goal and that horn went off. There's nothing in sports that equals that.
Oh, I have a horn right here. Give me a second. Let me go find it. There we go.
That's what I'm talking about. So, and soccer needs something like that to me.
Right? Ooh, I have some news for you, Kevin.
Okay.
So, for those who are familiar with the program, the Time to BS and the Time to BS family of shows, we have Time to BS, Isla BS, Seahawks Sessions, and BS Sessions. Now, over the last several days, I have been communicating with different people back and forth about coming on for BS Sessions. Now, Volume 56 was a good time featuring Long Island's own Brian Orlando, and Volume 57 has been open as of recently because scheduling has been a pain. So, joining me for Volume 57 of BS Sessions is... There he is. Dustin's joining the Department of BS.
There he
BS
is.
Sessions. There we go. For those watching on YouTube, Dustin Henry of No Credentials Required.
That's right.
Ryan, hope you're watching, my friend.
That's right. We're poaching him.
So BS Sessions, Volume 57 will be coming soon. I can fully expect this one to be a genuinely good time.
Absolutely.
If you are familiar,
he's involved in is a good time.
If you are familiar with the train with the runaway train that is Dustin, you will know that this is a good time. That this will be a genuinely good time between myself and Dustin. I highly suggest you check it out. BS Sessions Volume 57 coming
Make sure.
soon.
Make sure.
Oh, of course, my friend, of course. But before we continue with the rest of the show, Kevin, is this show free?
Last I checked, let me see. Nope, it is not.
All right, cue the music. This show ain't free, so time for some ads.
Hey guys, this is Hector from the Insert Name FC podcast here to tell you guys about Canada Dips. It is a great tasting, superior alternative to traditional dip using CBD in a way that is radical, enjoyable, and effective. It comes in 5 core flavors: wintergreen, mint, citrus, mango, and American spice. Canada Dip CBD is the new evolution in dip, allowing guys to enjoy great, long-lasting taste without the downsides. If you guys want to go ahead and try them out, use the code BELLYUP20 at CanadipCBD.com. Once again, BELLYUP20 at CanadipCBD.com, and you'll get yourself 20% off your purchase. Thank you again for Canadips for being a great partner of Belly Up Sports.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you missed it, BS Sessions Volume 57 will feature Dustin Henry of No Credits Required.
That's right.
Oh,
and
boy.
Seahawks Session.
This is true. This is true. Where's
Speaking
the
of
button?
which, Friday, you don't want to miss Friday's show. Let's
I
plug that.
can't wait. I can't
Friday,
wait.
we'll be talking about the Super Bowl, and there are going to be keys to the game all over the place, and just it's going to be a sweet time. So you definitely want to check that out.
So yeah, let's get into the Super Bowl, shall we? Because we'll preview a little bit of the game. Obviously, not a whole ton of the game because we got a Friday show to do.
That's right. We don't shoot ourselves in the foot.
Right, like what Cleveland's doing.
That's right.
The details of the trade just got announced. Darius Garland and a second-round pick are going to the Clippers for James Harden. Why?
Yeah, that seems a little thin to me.
Literally, why? So, Kevin, the more and more I've talked to people about this Super Bowl, the more and more I've seen the reports of like, first of all, let's get this out of the gate. The spread is too big. The spread's at 4.5. Seattle's favored by 4.5. That's too big of a spread.
I think it should be bigger.
Really, you think so?
Yes. It shouldn't be less than 5.
Okay. Here's
in my opinion, just based on the way the Seahawks have played. Not saying I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I'm just talking about the spread.
Correct.
I was a little surprised that it was 4.5. I thought it would be a little larger than that. I'll just leave it at that.
So the more and more I've watched these two teams play, the more and more I've watched the Patriots play and, the Seahawks play, the more and more I'm like, the only way New England makes this game close is if Drake May is protected. That's the only way.
The only way, and that's going to be one of the keys that I will discuss on Friday. And because they haven't protected him.
No, they haven't.
They have done
not.
A terrible job, and I realize that they've played solid defenses every round of these playoffs. I get that.
Yep.
Because the Chargers were solid defensively. Of course, Houston is solid defensively. And then Denver solid defensively. They led the league in sacks. Then you add in, 7,000 feet of snow and whatever else that was going on in that game. That's understandable. The Seahawks are not limited offensively.
No.
And so they're going to have to shore that up for sure.
Yeah, it's Kevin, I don't know, because I'm turning into Dustin at this point because I'm becoming a little pessimistic of this team right now, and I'm a little terrified because New England has a defense, and
they absolutely do.
They're not the best defense that they've played all season. That would belong to the Rams.
Correct.
So what New England has that the Rams don't have is a great secondary.
I was getting ready to go there.
Their secondary is dynamite. Christian Gonzalez.
Christian
Marcus
Gonzalez
Jones.
versus JSN is going to be must-see TV.
Oh, of course. Of course.
And because they've had nobody that could guard him.
Nobody. Next to nobody
Nobody.
can guard this guy.
And so, he's a quality, defensive back. Gonzalez, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
And so can he keep JSN under control? That'll be worth watching, no question.
Of course. Now, I do like how they've been getting Kenneth Walker more and more. Have it been making him more and more useful?
Yes.
Would that be
It's
the
been
term?
going on for several weeks now.
Which is
And
awesome.
awesome. And kind of where was he earlier, which we've discussed, but
Right?
and it's going to be. I don't know if you saw this, where Mike McDonald was asked if it's 26 seconds to play. Seahawks
Second and
down
goal
by
on the
4.
one.
What play is he going to run?
Where's beast mode? That was what a middle finger that was to Pete Carroll. That was wonderful.
It was, and so
That was awesome.
we've seen how Kenneth Walker can get the ball, not just turn around and hand it off to him. We've seen where they can toss it.
Oh yeah.
We've seen where they could do a screen play.
Yeah.
One way or another, Kenneth Walker needs to get the ball if that situation does reveal itself.
He's been so dynamic this last month and a half.
He has been, and I thought he would be this dynamic simply because he wants a payday. So
I think they don't have a choice but to give him a new contract.
well, I think
Here's why.
Giving Charbonnet's injury.
Exactly where I was going, because Charbonnet is going to be out for a minimum most of next season.
Right, because that injury is a year or so.
9 to 12 months.
Right.
For ACL repair for a running back. Unless you're Adrian Pearson, that's 4 months.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, no one else is Adrian Peterson. So
Correct. Now, Kenny McIntosh is the other one that I was very excited about before he got hurt and tore his ACL early in training camp.
That was
Halani stepped up in the Rams game in the NFC Championship. We caught passes out the backfield. It was nice to see. It was really nice to see.
Because he's a talented player.
He is. But I don't know. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves.
Right, because we want people to tune in on Friday. We want this.
Correct. But I'm pumped for baseball, Kevin.
I'm pumped for baseball.
I'm so pumped.
Because as we talked about before we came on here, baseball's been my first sport love for the longest out of any sport. And so I'm ready for it. And despite the fact that everybody's up in arms because the Dodgers are ruining baseball and blah, 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 blah. And it was interesting how when the Dodgers didn't win, which, happened, for 10 years in a row or something?
Yeah.
Everybody made fun of them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not just in the 90s, but, later when they made it to the playoffs, they actually made the 2 World Series, they didn't win.
Correct.
And everyone's like, oh, Dodgers, ha, ha. And so now here they are, they're winning. And it's interesting because Toronto, as we all remember, right? They had a zillion chances to win. A zillion. And didn't get it done. They were literally like a foot away from winning, at the plate and the drive to left field. And they had 2 games which they could have won the World Series, whatever. And so,
and then the ALCS,
like the Dodgers blew the absolute doors. That was probably the greatest World Series probably ever.
And the ALCS, Seattle was up 3 games to 2.
They sure were.
The Mariners could have won the whole thing too.
Could have. They could have. And so don't stamp the Dodgers as being the champions before spring training even opens.
Yeah, it's so stupid because I understand like the whole prediction thing.
Right.
Because we're in an industry where hot takes are king. We're in an industry where predictions are king. We understand that.
Right.
However, let's understand that there's 162 games played in a Major League Baseball season.
That's right. So the bad,
Anything can
the good
happen.
team, it's not like the NFL where you're playing 17 games.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Orioles. The Orioles were 2 years ago. They were the American League East champions.
They won 100 games.
Won 100 games, and then last season took a dump.
They took a dump from opening to closing.
Oh, so bad. Terrible. Terrible.
And they're in a division that you can't be terrible. You can't be good.
No, you cannot.
You can't just be good because you've got the Yankees, you got the Red Sox. The Rays kind of went back a little bit, but they're always there. So you either got to be really good or forget the whole thing.
Well, I'm skeptical of the Yankees. Not as a New Yorker, but also like I've told you this before. Like if Seattle didn't have their games on at 10 o'clock at night, I'd be watching the Mariners all the time. But because the Yankee games are on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, where I'm at work, I'm doing stuff.
Right. Doing stuff. And
yeah, baseball's the hardest sport to get into sometimes if you're in New York. It really is.
I'll have to take your word for that. And because I live in Rangers territory here, and it's not like the Yankees got the Yes Network, and the Dodgers got whatever network they have.
Yeah,
you couldn't find the Rangers.
No, you couldn't
on TV.
You can't. It's so difficult.
So when you talk about all these disparate in salaries and money coming in or whatever, that's your issue right there.
Amen to that.
And
speaking of baseball, Kevin, who is your American League favorite so far? Because I'm at a toss-up between the Mariners, the Blue Jays, and the Yankees.
I'm going to
okay, go for it.
I'm going to throw a different team in there. I think the Detroit Tigers. And the reason why I say that is because they got the number one pitcher at the top of their rotation.
If they rotate him, if they decide
if they're in the race, there's zero chance they'll make a move. And I can't see how they wouldn't be in the race. And so I was on the Tigers before they were. I was like, hey, pay attention to the Tigers, and until they started sliding off the mountain, almost right out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
but they've made the playoffs now 2 years in a row.
Yeah, and they took the Mariners to 5 games.
They sure did, and so I like the Tigers, and the Astros are taking. It's been years since they started taking steps back, but
it's been a weird steady decline for the Astros, and you know what? Screw them; they deserve it.
Well, right, I'm not disputing that one iota. So the Mariners, and I think they need to make some more moves because just replacing Polanco is not going to get it done.
Well, here's the thing: what the Mariners did, and I like. Where the Brandon Donovan trade makes sense is you replace Suarez, who's your third baseman. Donovan's your third baseman. That's immediately an upgrade. It's an immediate upgrade. He's at third baseman, yeah. At second baseman, however, different story. Completely different because Polanco was inconsistent as all hell at bat. As a second baseman. He was. He flat out was. But the one thing that he did give that, let's say Cole Young can't do is Cole Young is not as good of a defender as Polanco. That can't be disputed.
Right.
I like Cole Young a lot, but I don't know. It's what I also love how they retained Josh Naylor.
Yeah,
I love how they did that.
I like how they did that. He's a left-handed hitter.
Yeah.
And so, you got to like that. And, of course, they got Raleigh back there.
And the best rotation in baseball. The best rotation in baseball.
And it was interesting because they had some injuries last year in that rotation.
Gilbert was hurt.
He was. And so if they can keep healthy, which they did the year before.
Mm-hmm. They did.
And so if they can keep that rotation together, then they're going to be in every game.
Oh, yeah.
Or nearly every game.
Oh, yeah.
So I like I like that pitching, at least starting pitching. So we'll have to see about what they're going to do in the later innings. But
I mean, Brash is a good reliever.
Yeah.
Vargas is pretty good. Pizarro is really good. Is decent. Spire's pretty decent. Andres Munoz is not the greatest closer in the world,
but he gets it done.
He gets it done, and that's what you want for a closer,
right? And he's not erratic.
No, God, no.
Right? Because some closers are erratic, and that was in another area of fantasy baseball. I am not big on fantasy relievers.
No, I do like what the Yankees did, and they decided
they had to do some things. They had
Devin Williams. Goodbye, you're done.
Yeah. No. There's no taxi fare for you.
You're correct. David Bednar is not is like Andres Munoz, not the greatest closer in the world, but he's solid.
But he started because I've drafted him 2 years in a row now.
Yes,
and he started off absolutely god awful, and I had to drop him.
Yep.
And the Pirates had to send him to the minor leagues. Had to.
And he was doing a lot better with the Pirates.
And he was solid after he came back.
Yes.
So
I do like their starting pitching. Fried is excellent.
Yes, I rode him as far as I could possibly ride a starting pitcher.
Garrett Cole's. Garrett Cole's also coming off Tommy John.
Right, which you don't know what you're going to get.
Carlos Rodon has been inconsistent as all hell. Don't know why, but he's been inconsistent.
Right.
Cam Skitler he was awesome in the playoffs.
He was and
awesome.
He's a guy to keep your eyes on in spring training.
Oh yeah, Louis Gill, good player.
Right.
Good, not great.
Rookie of the year, a year, 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
And so he's certainly capable of it.
Yeah, but I like their roster. I like it. I mean, it's Austin Wells, Rice, Chisholm, McMahon, Volpe.
You'd like to see some more consistency out of Mr. Chase down there, or Jazz and all that. So
here's the issue that the Yankees have. And I know that this is a bit of a controversial take that I've mentioned before on this program numerous occasions. Brian Cashman, as much of a great GM that he was in the 90s and early 2000s, because you had the core four, you had all that talent.
Right.
With the A-Rods of the world, the Mariano Riveras of the world, the Jeters of the world, and those guys. Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer. You had multiple Hall of Famers and multiple All-Stars in those rosters, and you were able to get away with, say, trading it for a Joey Gallo and his
Yeah.
187 batting average.
Right, and striking
Oh,
out
God.
17 times a game and all that.
Oh, God.
I got
But, like-
a close-up personal view because he was on the Rangers, remember?
Yeah, he was.
And that was
Oh, he
back
stunk.
when they did the shift.
Yeah, that's right.
And they gave him the entire left field.
Yep.
And I saw him hit the ball hard for a couple of home runs to left, and I didn't understand why he didn't do that more often.
Don't know.
And he just stopped doing that, and I guess he was on Minnesota last year.
I think he was on the Twins. I'm not sure,
I
but
think
like,
so, but he was striking out 78 times up there.
it was so
And,
bad.
It was off. It was terrible.
Yeah.
And so you can't make a move like that and have it not backfire on you.
But like Cashman does this thing all the time where he goes, "Ooh, shiny thing." And all of a sudden he trades a ton of prospects for, granted at the time was a genius move, but Giancarlo Stanton, who
At times.
he shows his brilliance. But then most of the time, the dude's a statue.
Right. And even at the best of times,
He's still a statue.
he's still a statue. All he can do for you is DH.
Which is not the worst thing in the world for him.
No, it isn't. But when you've got Aaron Judge that you want to keep in your lineup and you want to, give him a couple of days rest or whatever,
Correct.
and DH is the way to do that. Then,
Yeah.
But when you've got the living, breathing statue already at DH, and they both hit right-handed, so that doesn't help your scenario.
Do you remember the 2006 Colts? How well do you remember that Colts team in 2006? The one that won the Super Bowl.
Okay, over the Bears?
Yes, over the Bears. So, do you know what the Yankees remind me of those Colts teams? If Peyton Manning goes down, they're screwed.
Yeah.
If Aaron Judge goes down,
Right.
the Yankees are screwed. Now, granted, they have capable starting pitching to where that doesn't freaking matter, but still, you need to score runs. You need to hit consistent, like 280. Like,
Well, in today's baseball, you would accept 260.
I saw a stat the other day that the Yankees combined over the last 2 years had a batting average of like sub 250.
Right, and that's not if you take out what Aaron Judge was doing.
Aaron Judge is batting like 340.
Right, so you take that out of the mix, and it probably goes down to what, 240, 230 somewhere,
235, something like that. It's math is weird.
That's baseball now.
Math is weird, but like
unfortunately,
I get it, but you see where my point is though. Yeah. If you take Aaron Judge out of the Yankees lineup and say he breaks a leg, not saying he would, but like let's say he sprains an ankle. More realistic, sprains his ankle,
or like remember when he got hurt the last time was because he ran into the fence.
Yeah, his toe, right?
Field. Yeah,
his toe. But like he's out for 3 months,
right?
And then the offense takes a nosedive, and it's like, oh crap, how are we going to recover for this? And then they trade for Joey Gallo and hope for the best.
Yeah, well,
that's their problem. Is their whole philosophy is, let's pray to God Aaron Judge doesn't get hurt, because Brian Cashman has made too inconsistent of moves to be like, I'm still this hotshot know-it-all as a GM because I got the rings in the 90s. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm not even a Yankee fan. I'm annoyed.
Well, I couldn't be a Yankee fan if you threatened to,
No, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
This couldn't happen.
I know.
And, but I appreciate, good baseball.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Playing it. And, it's been inconsistent up there.
It has been.
And both New York houses.
Well,
Let's be honest about this.
let's get to the National League, shall we? Because other than the Dodgers, because let's be honest here, the Dodgers are the World Series favorite. I don't think anyone's going to make that argument.
No.
The Kyle Tucker contract was confusing because they didn't need him, but they signed him anyway.
Well, they kind of needed an outfielder.
Okay,
not for $60 million a year.
This is why you're the rational fan out of all of us here.
Okay, because they wanted to, they had Toscar Hernandez, which is, you talk about a guy who, out and out the right field, and he's got no hands.
Yeah, Teoscar. Okay. I remember he's a Mariner. I remember that.
Okay, and so he's much better in left, and so they put Tucker in right. And I've always argued, they didn't sign him in December, right? They didn't sign him in November.
Right.
He was a free agent for months.
Yeah.
And
something was up.
And nobody, I kind of understand that, because you have to understand, when it comes to all this, it's one agent in particular who.
Oh, that's right. He was a Boras client.
That's correct.
Oh, who's the Scott Boras of football?
You know what?
That's a good question.
That is. What's that guy? I don't think there's a comparison.
Rosenhaus.
I was getting ready to say Drew Rosenhaus.
Rosenhaus would be the easy one.
Yeah. But
ooh.
And so over the last few years, while you've got, and it's the same kind of this year, where if you've got a guy who's not signed and it's February, you know who his agent is.
Oh, yeah.
And it's come back to bite, and not in a good way.
Too many.
A couple of guys, I mean, Alonso, for one.
He's a Boras client, really?
He was.
That's right, he was.
He was, and Blake Snell.
Snell, I thought would be a Mariner, because he's from that area. He's from Seattle.
And, given his previous comments, I thought he'd just as soon smash his head into a brick wall several times than be a Dodger.
Right. Right. So Ryan made up a good question here. And he goes, the Mets are doing a whole lot of nothing to finish in third place. He's right. I will add on to that point. And I will say this, dear Ryan. The Mets stink. And that's not even an understatement.
No, and they've got way too much money to stink.
Yeah.
So if you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at the Mets. Because they spent all that money and then didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, they spent like $500 million to do nothing.
Right? They brought in Juan Soto, which, okay. But that wasn't enough.
I will give Met fans a ton of credit where credit is due. Ton of credit for Met fans where credit is due. Even though your team is dog crap, you still hang in there.
And I
don't know how you do it.
I've been to Citi Field. Well, we have. I'm sorry.
It's a beautiful ballpark.
It's a beautiful, absolutely stunning ballpark.
Beautiful.
And the fans, perfect fans.
We appreciate Met fans around here. We do.
So,
we appreciate Met fans.
But that's the thing that I've talked about when it comes to like the Rockies.
Yeah.
Because there are fans at that stadium every single night.
They show up.
They show up. Mets fans show up. And for the Mets to allow their number one, because they should have just said, you know what? Whatever you want, we'll give it.
To Alonso.
Well, not to Alonso. Well, Alonso as well.
McNeil.
But they let their number one pitcher, relief pitcher, right?
Oh, yeah, Diaz.
Diaz. I mean, the whole scene is one of those incredible, because years ago, I was in San Diego when Trevor Hoffman came into a game. You've never experienced anything at a baseball game like that.
Oh, Trevor Hoffman.
Trevor
What a
Hoffman would come in and they'd start playing Hell's Bells.
Oh, what a name.
That's very top of my baseball, personal experiences.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and the Mets had something similar to that
With Edwin
when
Diaz.
he
Yeah.
came into a game
Yeah.
with the horns and all that.
Oh, so
And
good.
so what do you do? And he's a tremendous fan favorite. They let him not just walk, but
To
to
you
the
guys.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
To the Dodgers. So, come on. I made a video. It's a while back now.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like,
You
Mets,
did.
what are you doing?
Yeah, it's as Ryan said twice now, the Mets are doing a whole lot of nothing to be in third place.
And they've got like 75 middle infielders.
Yeah, they do.
I don't understand it because they trade, Nemo. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Nemo.
Nemo? Is that what it is? Okay. To the Rangers, which I'm very excited to see what he can do.
Oh, yeah.
Then you bring in, they trade him for, bring in a second baseman. So then they trade for Polanco. What position did he play? Second base.
Second baseman.
Then they bring in, Dante. He's a shortstop. You already have an all-star shortstop. Where do you plan on playing all these guys? You're going to play him at third base. He's never played there a day in his life.
Nope, not at all. Milwaukee's the other team that I look at them, I just go, If there's a serious situation where baseball's going to implement a salary floor, Milwaukee would be one of the first teams to benefit from it. Because they're stupid good.
They need a salary floor. I've always said that.
They're so good. They're so good, Milwaukee.
Right? And if there's a team that knows when to get rid of a player, nobody's better at that than Milwaukee.
The Marlins don't think a word too.
Well, the Marlins just do that because they don't want to pay anybody.
Yeah.
But Milwaukee, they just 1 year before the floor completely collapses, they make the trade.
Yep.
And so, but I think that they're gonna take a step back. So the Cubs, to me, is the clear team to watch in the NL Central.
I don't know. It's
because the Cardinals are, trading everybody, and
the Cardinals are a mess.
The Cardinals have been a mess, which baseball fans don't become more passionate than the Cardinal fans are.
It's a hard argument to make, yeah.
And so, but they've sunk down. The Pirates, they've got a beautiful ballpark, which I'd like to go to one day.
But they stink.
But they stink to high heaven.
They stink terrible.
Everybody's still waiting for the Reds to do something.
They're getting better.
They're getting better, but what does that mean? 85 wins?
Fair point.
So I think the Cubs are the clear team in the NL Central. And it'll be interesting about the Braves. Because there wasn't a team that got less from their players than the Braves did.
That's true. Because Acuna's been hurt for a while.
And everybody regrets for them.
Yeah. That was a trade that I was very curious to see if they would make it. Because the Mariners were in talks with Atlanta about acquiring Ronald Acuna Jr. That I know. And I saw that, I was like, interesting. How much would you give up for a guy like that? A lot.
You would give up a lot. You'd give up more if you'd stay healthy, but
correct.
But when he's healthy, he can bring it like nobody else.
Such a good player. Before we get to
everything.
Before we get to the remaining couple segments of the show, we do need to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that this show is not free.
Correct.
Right, Kevin?
Correct. Absolutely.
Cue the music. This show ain't free. So time for some ads.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
All right, Kevin, you're here for time to Q&A?
Ready.
All right. Been a while since we've done this.
Okay.
So, how this works is we'll take questions, debates, and comments throughout the comment section. I also got a few questions written down here.
Okay.
I feel like we're going to have some fun here. Question number 1, time to Q&A. What do you make of the struggles for the Florida Panthers, the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers?
That is a subject which I wrote about a couple of weeks ago about when I looked at hockey at the halfway point, and the Panthers were one of those teams that I talked about as being a surprise. And then after I wrote that, they kind of they got it together for a minute, but it's now going in reverse again.
As of right now, the Panthers have 59 points and they're bottom of the Atlantic Division.
Correct. And so, as they say, Father Time is undefeated.
Correct.
And no team stays at the top. And but it's a stunning fall. It's not like they went from being a Stanley Cup champion to maybe third in their division.
Yeah.
But as you just mentioned, they're buried.
Look at Winnipeg. President's
Winnipeg is
Trophy winners
another
last
team
year.
that I wrote about as well, and they have come to because they won the
President's Trophy, yeah.
President's Trophy a year ago, number 1 in points and all that, and they've completely collapsed.
Oh, it's weird. It's like Nikolai Ehlers just basically was like, hey, I'm going to go to Carolina and help this team do well, and you go screw off, Winnipeg. Weird. It's weird how that thing works.
It does. It is.
Question number 2. What is more likely to happen? Salary floor for Major League Baseball or expansion for the NBA?
Ugh.
You know how much I've been on the NBA expansion.
I know that, and as long as
could you try again?
I don't think that
Not me.
I think that's kind of
That was me.
because I think a salary floor is a good idea,
Salary floor is a great idea.
and the players might bend on that, but the issue with that is I think that the owners are going to want both of those, and so expansion. I've always had. I'm not big on expansion.
I think expansion's going to happen with the NBA, and I'll tell you why. Seattle and Vegas are coming.
Good points. Yeah,
Seattle and Vegas is happening.
it has to happen. No question.
Has to happen with Seattle.
It's a crime of the century that there's no supersonic team.
The only reason I don't think it happens is because you have a team in New Orleans that is terrible.
That's right. And they're
Pelicans stink.
right. And I'm sorry, New Orleans fans, but Pelicans, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Because let's also be real here. New Orleans loves their football. It's
do.
LSU, the
Right.
Saints, and everything else.
Right.
That's just fact.
It is. There's no question about it. And but I would think that because New Orleans would probably get behind their basketball team
If they were good.
if they were good, and if instead of because remember, Mr. Davis used to be a New Orleans Pelican.
Anthony
And he
Davis.
started, and what did they do? Trade him to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Who proceeded to trade him
Back to the
Mavericks.
Dallas Mavericks, and we're not talking about that.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk
No.
about that at all.
No, we want to maintain sanity here.
We
But,
do. We do here.
And so if there's a team that's going to get moved, I would say that's it. And Vegas, appreciate you, Vegas, but Seattle's got to get a team first.
Seattle's getting a team because
Gotta
that's a
have to have-
basketball town.
And I'm of the age where I used to watch the Seattle Supersonics, and they had the best starting lineup. With the way they would introduce their starting lineup was the best of any team ever.
Amen to that.
So they need to make. If you're not, go to YouTube once again and put in Seattle, Supersonics starting, rotation or announce whatever, somewhere in there, and watch that, and it's so perfect.
Question number 3. Who's your NBA Finals pick so far? Oof.
Okay. Yeah.
I got one.
Okay.
I got one. And this may ruffle some feathers.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
In the Eastern Conference, unless Detroit decides to go ham in the playoffs, I'd be pleasantly surprised if the Knicks don't make the finals.
And the Knicks is, that was one of the things that, because we didn't talk about Giannis yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay,
That's right.
And I think that the Knicks should stay out of that.
Yeah, so the only way the Knicks trade for Giannis, the only conceivable way if the Knicks trade for Giannis. Thank you, Kevin, for reminding me about that. That completely glossed over my brain. I don't think the Knicks trade for Giannis unless he specifically requests, "Hey, I want to go to New York."
Right.
I want to go to New York.
Because they'd have to give up too much of their core
Way
to
too
make
much.
this happen.
Now,
And
if
then
you
he's out 4 to 6 weeks.
yeah,
And-
if you want to
and
score,
your team has to be able to maintain their playoff spot, first of all.
yes.
And that's no guarantee that because remember last year he didn't play in the playoffs at all.
No.
And so
Don't.
if I'm the New York Knicks, I don't do this. They're already, pretty good slots, right now. And so
Yeah.
just say, thanks, but no thanks.
Okay.
And
Their starting 5 is solid.
it's solid. And
Jalen
that's where
Brunson.
you're going to break up this solid starting 5 to sit around
Yeah.
for 4 to 6 weeks and wait on
Giannis. Because
Giannis to play if he does.
so their starting 5 is Jalen Brunson, Josh
Right.
Hart,
Yep.
Mikal Bridges, who
Yep.
granted they gave him a lot for Bridges, but he's earned that contract. OG Anunoby, who's not there are very few defenders who are better than him, and Karl Anthony Towns. And you could slot Mitchell Robinson in there, but Towns is a better forward than he is a center.
Right.
He just is. That's
Right.
just fact. And I like the Mike Brown hire, but I don't know. It's first, if you are a team, what I love about this NBA, about the NBA the last few years, is you're seeing the era of super team die.
Die
Done.
a death that's non-recoverable.
Correct, and it's been beautiful to watch.
It has been.
And you're seeing teams like the Celtics, the
And the
defending
Celtics are an
champion
interesting
Thunder.
team too.
Yeah,
by the way.
the defending champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have the league MVP
Right.
in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but they're still winning 70 games with a bunch of dudes. Granted, they're really good players, but the majority a bunch of dudes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's the same way about other than Wemby on San Antonio.
San Antonio.
And that's the series that I think that most people are most excited about.
Oh, if the Spurs and
San
Thunder
Antonio
played.
and Oklahoma City.
Oh, beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
that would be even more, must-watch TV than the finals, whoever
Correct.
gets there. So
Correct. But I talked to a few people and they all said the same thing. When LeBron retires, Giannis is going to the Lakers.
may well be, unless, and this is a scenario that I think's more likely than him going to the Knicks.
Okay.
And that's going to the Warriors. Because Jonathan
Steph.
Kuminga, they don't want him. He don't want to be there.
Steph.
So they can trade him. They can trade in, I know I'm going to butcher this guy's name. I'm going to do the best I can. Brandon, where's his name? Brandon Podzinski, I suppose.
Yeah.
He's 22 years old. They can trade him. They can trade the contract of Jimmy Butler and some draft picks. And
They can trade Andrew Wiggins too.
And that does not, other like the Knicks would lose a substantial part of their roster. The Warriors can do what I just said, and it wouldn't affect their roster much at all.
They could trade Draymond Green.
And so that's a scenario that is more likely to me than going to New York or Miami or wherever else.
Good point. We got another question here. Has the Pro Football Hall of Fame lost its luster? Because this is going off the news that not only is Bill Belichick not first ballot Hall of Famer, Robert Kraft isn't either.
Right.
Okay.
And the issue with that is you can't vote for enough guys. If you're a Hall of Fame voter, it's not like baseball. You can bet up to 10 people, and there's not 10 people that ever deserve in 1 year to go into the Baseball Hall of Fame, ever. I don't care if you go back to the days of Babe Ruth or whomever.
Correct.
There's
You're probably
never
right.
been a year where 10 separate players deserve to go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair argument.
That's too many.
That's a fair argument.
In football, the way I understand it is you can vote for 5 people.
Yes.
And that's all.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're in a situation where a player has been on there for a few years now and you want to see him because you think that he's definitely worth being in the Hall of Fame, you might leave off one of those guys to get him some votes. So there's not enough guys you can vote for at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's a problem.
Do you remember Jerry Kramer?
Yeah.
With the Packers back in the 60s.
Right.
You know how long Jerry Kramer had to wait to get in the Hall of Fame? 50 years.
50 years, and and you'd prefer to enshrine a guy while he's still breathing air.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
we're lucky as Seahawks fans that we got to see Kenny Easley.
Right. Before
in the
he
Hall of
passed.
Fame. Yeah, which stunk, but like Cortez Kenny, another one, perfect example.
Yeah.
It's listen, as much as we have a distaste for the Patriots, that the evil empire that was the New England Patriots, there's no denying the impact of not only Bill Belichick, but Robert Kraft.
Right.
Okay?
People forget. That's where either you do one of two things, because the players are not the same as, coaches and owners and executives.
Correct.
You should have a category for that.
Correct.
Then a category for the players. Because someone that deserves to be on that ballot won't be on it.
Correct.
One way or another.
Do you remember? So you're old enough to remember this. Do you remember when the Patriots were being threatened to move before Robert Kraft bought the team?
I wasn't really paying attention to the Patriots. I must be honest about it.
Okay, so
but I've heard the story. Yes,
back throughout the 1980s and into the 70s, the New England Patriots were being threatened to move. That's how bad they were back in the 70s and the 80s, and to a degree the early 90s. But when Robert Kraft bought the team in 94, success.
Right.
96, they go to the Super Bowl. 2001, Super Bowl title. 04, Super Bowl. 03, 04, back-to-back Super Bowls. 07, undefeated, new Super Bowl appearance. Lost to the Giants. 2011, Super Bowl. 2014, we don't talk about that. 16, Super Bowl. 17, 16, 17, 18, 3 straight Super Bowl appearances. Now they're back in the Super Bowl. The New England Patriots have been to 11 Super Bowls since Robert Kraft has taken over as owner of the New England Patriots. How in God's green earth? Now, I granted, we can talk about the scandals, Spygate, Deflategate, and that other scandal, you know. We know that one. But you can't deny the success.
No.
If you can't.
We talked about that with Bill Belichick already.
Yeah.
After all that scandals, he still won Super Bowl.
Yeah. He did. But it's so stupid.
It is, and it's surprising that this has not become more of a public attention until now. That I guess maybe because there wasn't, 5 guys that deserved it at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's a problem.
Yeah.
And,
it is a problem.
And that's all we're talking about is because this is just like the preliminary vote.
Yeah.
Right? It would only get worse later.
This is the first ballot.
This is the very first ballot. Whoever got on this ballot doesn't mean they're going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
There's still scrutiny and a bunch of other stuff that needs to happen.
That's so dumb.
It's
so dumb.
So for just 5 guys, that's an issue. And yes, the Hall of Fame by extension has taken a step back because of all this that's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
Even though all they do is just, somebody gets nominated and they bring them in and, because they're not a part of it. It's sports writers that do
Correct. Before I close up shop, Kevin, you want to get the BS of the week?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
Bullshit!
Still love that stupid clip. I still love it. All right, this week's edition of BS of the week. Context is key here.
Right.
When I started doing podcasting, my hero was Dan Le Batard.
Okay.
Of ESPN, form of ESPN Radio down in South Beach, Miami.
Him and his dad did that show.
Oh, I loved Poppy. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Him and Stu Gatz, Long Island's own John Stu Gatz.
Right.
This week's edition of BS of the Week takes us to Dan Le Batard.
Uh-oh.
Because it's been heartbreaking to watch. Because there's a lot of people that I will not shout out, but I know of people that are reporting that the breakup between Stu Gatz and Le Batard was ugly. And if you have watched Le Batard's show the last couple years, don't watch it. And I mean that out of respect for the guy, because Le Batard was my hero. It stings because the style that we do here on the Time to BS family of shows is very similar to what they did through 15 years of radio on ESPN. And it stings because it's become yelling and screaming and arguing and complaining.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Listen, we may disagree on a bunch of stuff,
of course.
But as that dude, a veteran with a sign says, as he holding up his sign, it says, "We can disagree and still be friends."
Right.
But I know we're not allowed to talk about certain topics on this program, and I get it. And I refuse to talk about anything regarding, controversial, like super controversial, because at the end, it's getting away from what we want to do
Right.
here on these programs.
Right. We want to be uplifting. We want to get, entertaining, some
We
information.
want to have
and
fun.
We want to have a little fun, and hopefully somebody's having fun while we're doing it.
Yeah, of course. But every time I watch a clip of Le Batard, it screams CNN. And that's sad.
There's like 8 people that watch that anymore. So
But you know what I'm talking about, though.
yeah.
It's like you're screaming at the microphone to prove a point, which I don't particularly care.
No.
I know you don't care either.
I don't care because, I can defend my positions, whatever they may be, and I don't have to yell, don't have to scream, don't have to, insult. And so,
Yeah. And former Marlins president David Sampson's part of that show, and he ruined the Marlins. Say what you want about Jeter, but he ruined the Marlins. Sampson did. He ruined the Marlins. And he will defend his position and say it was Jeter's fault. It was Jeter's fault. It's like, no, he fired you because you were a terrible president. You were terrible.
there are 2 things that can be true at the same time.
The Marlins stink.
Right. And he stinks.
That too. Kevin, you got a final thoughts to close up shop for the day?
Well, I have a question.
Please.
Okay, so I don't know if you heard this or not, but the NFL just announced that they're playing in 9 international games next year.
What?
9.
Why?
So this is the list. 3 games in London.
Yeah.
Then they're playing in Paris, Madrid, Rio, Munich, Melbourne, and Mexico City. So the question is, if you were to win a lottery and could pick one city out of that group, not knowing who was going to play in the game, who would you select?
Melbourne, not even close.
Melbourne would be my answer as well, but I've already been to Australia.
How is Australia?
Australia is outstanding.
It's beautiful, right?
It is. It's beautiful. It's hospitable. It's wonderful. But I've been, and one of the reasons why I joined the Navy was to go to Europe, which I never did do.
Really? You've never been to Europe?
Never been to Europe. Been everywhere, all over in the Pacific.
I'll send you pictures. I'll send you pictures because I'm going to Greece.
Oh, jeez.
Because I'm going to Greece in April.
So I would say probably London.
Yeah, good point.
Of course, I would have to consult over there. London or Paris?
Paris is a
London.
dump. I can
Okay,
defend
keep it-
Paris.
I've heard of that about Paris.
Paris is a dump. Don't go to Paris.
Okay, so London would be my choice.
London's beautiful.
And a lot of it would have to do with how long do we have to be there.
Okay,
If
so
you show up for the game and leave, but if you could hang out for a little bit, then we could go over the British Isles. That would be fun.
go to Amsterdam too.
Well,
I've heard
unfortunately, that's not on the list, but yes,
I've heard great things about Amsterdam. I've heard phenomenal things about Amsterdam, Holland.
Okay.
That whole like Western European, like Central Western European area is beautiful. It's weird. For some reason, like when you go to London or you go to I always want to go to Ireland. I've always wanted to go.
Okay. I would say the same thing about Scotland.
Oh, can't wait. Oh, I love Scotland. I love the UK. I think the UK is an incredibly underrated part of Europe. Because, everyone thinks of Europe and they think, oh my God, let's go to Paris. Oh my God, let's go to Germany. Go to freaking Ireland. That country's beautiful.
Yeah.
The country's beautiful.
I'm down. So I just thought I would throw that out there and get some, some insights. And so I think that Melbourne would be an outstanding choice.
Amen to that.
I've not been to Melbourne, but I've been to 3 cities in Australia. It's outstanding.
Oh, I can't wait. All right. From the great state of Texas and Belly Up Fantasy is Kevin Wilson. I'm coming to you from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Time to BS. See you guys Friday for Seahawks Sessions.
That's right. Don't miss it.
For our Super Bowl preview. Later.